Hyderabad's inspiring urban success story. We always appreciate the success that happens and we always see the good side of it, but the continuous hard work and the consistency and the dedication and the constant striving towards excellence is something that we don't really notice in the very beginning. This is a conversation that's set to unfold exactly that for all of you over here. This is going to be a real talk session with two incredible individuals, tremendously knowledgeable when it comes to real estate. We're just waiting for the chair to be cleared. So we're all ready for the real talk session, ladies and gentlemen. And when I say real talk, I really mean reality in the true sense of the term. This is about Hyderabad's urban success story. And the reason why we are having this conversation is because there's a person who believed that this could actually turn into a reality. And the person has played a tremendous role in making this a reality, which is why this is a great subject of discussion today. To do the conversation on stage, I have with me somebody who's an architect by qualification and an editor by profession. Now, after an active architectural practice of more than a decade, she's forayed into the field of journalism in the year 2006. Her work has been published in some of the major national newspapers, and she has also been a regular guest expert for all the real estate shows. Ladies and gentlemen, Sapna Srivastava, ladies and gentlemen, for Realty Plus. And of course, anybody wanting to understand reverse aging hacks, you can ask her how to reverse age. That is Sapna for you, everybody. Please clap it up loudly for Sapna Srivastava, editor, Realty Plus. Thank you so much, Sapna. She's going to be joined on stage by a true veteran, a true legend when it comes to Hyderabad's real estate space. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a prominent Indian landscape architect, urban designer and academician with over 34 years of experience. That's a great number. I've not even reached that as a number in terms of age. So I can truly kind of respect the fact and the experience that he brings to the table. He's the founder and chairman of Narasimham Associates, a design consultancy firm rendering consulting services majorly in the field of landscape architecture along with building and interior architectural fields. Ladies and gentlemen, he's also a renowned and very interesting motivational TEDx speaker and recipient of numerous awards. Ladies and gentlemen, at the third edition of the Realty Plus Conclave and Awards 2026 over here in your beautiful city of Hyderabad, it's my absolute honor and privilege to call up the man who has actually believed in urban growth story of Hyderabad, architect Professor Narasimham, V.V.L, Chairman IIA Telangana State Chapter. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. What a pleasure. Can we please clap it up loudly for sir over here? Sapna, thank you. The timer is in front of you and yeah, over to you.
Thanks, Shubhajit, for those wonderful introductions. Mr. Narasimhan, architect, he's an architect, he's a professor. So entire day we had been talking about real estate, how things are happening in terms of commercial development, in terms of overall development happening in real estate of Hyderabad. Now when we say real estate, it is progressing, the urbanization is progressing. You've been in the industry, like we heard, for more than 3 decades now. You've been in the building and construction sector. If I have to ask you 2 right things that Hyderabad is doing when it comes to urban development, and probably 2 things that are not right when it comes to Hyderabad urban development, in your observation, in your experience, what would that be? 2 right things and 2 wrong things that Hyderabad is doing.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here today, along with many of the big builders and real estate experts. Well, I am an architect basically, and we've been designing buildings and a lot of landscape, and I am a specialist landscape architect and ecological planner, so to say. So for the last 3.5 decades, and happen to be the chairperson of Indian Institute of Architects. We have Telangana chapter. We have in India all over states chapters. We do a lot of activities. Well, for your question, I mean, the whole world is progressing and the way in cities of India that they are growing, there are good things happening, there are problems that also crop up along with the good things. So good things, when we look at, we can look at infrastructure scaling and connectivity. All of us know how infrastructure is growing, but not really the best in terms of transport, metros and now the bullet train which is coming up in India. So that is one aspect, but the other aspects are infrastructure in terms of sewage, then stormwater, and this is so I call myself as a landscape infra architect. So today, last 35 years, I have been designing various projects where the infrastructure is a major issue, whether it is electrical or sewage, drainage. People talk about drainage. They think drainage means only sewage. Well, drainage also, in many cities, our people have not taken care of the stormwater drainage, which is why, today when it flood, when the cloud burst happens, there are new phenomena that are happening today in the world. The clouds are something like 10 kilometers by 5 kilometers by 4 kilometers volumes. Such clouds are getting created, and sudden burst, and it's not just rain, it's a thunder. So that much of water, when it falls on the earth, where is it going? We are just getting things flooded. We have never planned for either passage of that water or impounding that water and reusing. Today it's all recycling, right? So we are talking about sewage also. See, we're getting water from Godavari and Krishna with so much of huge cost, and after we use that water, where is it going? Every drop is a golden drop.
So while we are building infrastructure, that is the good part. We are building roads, we are building highways, metros, as you said. But
not the water.
But the finer things like sewage, stormwater disposal, recycling of water, these are the things which are not being taken care of when Hyderabad urban development is being talked about. Another aspect is the green buildings. So with green certifications, definitely there's a lot of awareness which has come among the customers, among the developers, all the stakeholders. But there is also a lot of time it's seen that it's more of we are copying the Western concepts rather than the common sense of our own vernacular architecture. So, how do you see that aspect? Are we copying the West in a race of getting those certifications, those LEED ratings and GRIA ratings, and we are forgetting what's the right thing to do? How do you see this?
See, if we look at India, India is endowed with a huge history and past traditions and methods of constructing things and all that, compared to many other countries in the world where they have never seen such things, being in the cold countries or various other climates.
They are newer civilizations.
But luckily we are in a tropical, semi-arid, subtropical, dry deciduous forest ecosystems we call. We live in such, the south especially. So we have courtyards, we have the beautiful jalis or then verandas, and the clay tiles, and coconut, and so many things which our landscape is richer due to bright sunlight available, and a lot of the grass, types of grass that is available due to the rice cultivation and so on and so forth. So all these waste, so-called, what we get out, are all used very usefully in our day-to-day life, and which are, which can't be rated. For example, I'll just I always mention my project. I'm very proud of my project, which is Shilparamam. If any of you have not seen still, please visit. It's close by in Madhapur. We have done in 1995 to 2002, 7 years. We got National Award in 1995 for its best design in competition in India. And many people competed showing glass and various other materials with which they have come up with concepts, whereas we have done a different altogether. It was what we call as a departure from regular urban pigeonhole architecture. All our apartments, all our now 65 storied, 47 storied, which are coming up in so-called coca-pet, what is it all? It's all pigeonholes. So this pigeonhole concrete architecture is what we never, in the sense, okay, it has its own beauty. I don't want to say anything about it. People who want to live in pigeonholes, let them live. The point is, you have beautiful other alternatives, and how you can eke out things. So this is where we have so much of materials which are available for rating. I have been asking, last several years. Shilparamam is now 30 years. So can anyone rate Shilparamam project? I challenge even today. And the kind of mindset with which we designed that project, we were anti-RCC in 1995. Anti-RCC in 1995, which nobody thought also. And of course, we used a little RCC in that project, but we minimized. We avoided to the large extent. And we never allowed a bulldozer, poclane or JCB into that 64 acres with pristine, beautiful, rolling landscapes that has had lowest water collection in rainy season, which we made as a lake, and a bowl-like looking thing which we made as an amphitheater, open air. And we tilled the land with the bullock carts in 95 and removed all weeds and got the lawn laid for several acres, which has no maintenance headaches today. So what I'm saying is, all these aspects, how you look at things, money is not everything. So
that's what Mr. Narasimhan is saying. It's not always about modernization. Yes. Sometimes you can get so much inspiration from the age-old wisdom.
Yes.
And bringing, I think,
one more project I would like to express to the audience. I'm sure many of you have seen Alankrita on the way to Shamirpet Lake. So Alankrita is another project close to my heart, which we have done, where if you see those buildings inside Alankrita project, all those stone pillars, wooden pillars, the doors, the windows, the bullock cart, then the tiles, everything came from Karaikudi. Later on the city bricks and all that were used, but most of it is what we call as architectural rejuvenation. The Karaikudi story, I am sure all of you know. Tamil Nadu, many people, their children were all leaving to Malaysia and Singapore. They settled there and left their parents back home in Tamil Nadu, and they had huge chettinad houses, which are traditionally beautiful houses with courtyard and all the materials which we talked about. And those chettinad houses were huge, and the parents could not maintain the old-aged people. Yeah. So they just sold off those houses from 1990 onwards till 2010-15. And many politicians, doctors, various professionals bought over those houses, and in truckloads it was all dismantled and sent to Delhi, Bombay, Hyderabad. So in Hyderabad, this project, my client got them and laid them on the floor, didn't know what to do. He was searching for Shilparamam architect. So, and I was his patient, for throat infections and all. He is a ENT surgeon in Secunderabad. So then he came to know about me and he called me and he took me immediately and, he showed the whole thing and we reassembled all those and brought back to life all those elements, columns, beams, the tiles, everything. So this is again something which is eco-friendly and,
That's right. I think here are two
rating,
examples.
Rating, how do you rate it?
So these are the two examples where I think the modern way of working and our historical past can be brought together, which you have just mentioned. These are the two examples that many of us can look at when we are probably building newer buildings, etc. Now, one thing that I want to ask you is, in your experience, you've been an academic also. What are the two, if I have to ask you, two trends in building and construction that really excite you? Because we are just closing our session. So two trends that you are really excited about in this building and construction as of now.
Today I am happy that many green rating bodies have come up. One is IGBC in our Hyderabad. I am very, very happy that what I have been thinking of, I see all of that, in IGBC, CIA, Godrej campus. They have literally shown everything, how we can, conserve water, how we can conserve soil. Soil is gold, and how the vegetation needs to be looked at, and native species to be brought into focus, and flora and fauna.
One is the green ratings and green buildings you are really excited about.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other?
Recently, I did Begumpet railway station. I am doing 5-6 railway stations. So, 2 of them were inaugurated by Prime Minister online last May, Begumpet and Karimnagar railway stations. And in Begumpet, now I am doing Secunderabad railway station also. So, I am fighting with railway officials, railway engineers especially. My problem is engineers always, because they don't want any plant. Everything is cement, 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 or steel, steel, steel. So I am fighting with them and trying to bring in the green, the importance of the soil, importance of the water, then the plant material, and all these. So I kind of say that I am reviving whatever damage is being done through huge building works, whether it is 50-storied or whatever. A lot of damage to the ecology in that particular site is happening. I am kind of bringing back life and ecology. What I have done is, in Begumpet railway station, I have just brought one Palapitta, it is Indian roller, which is very famous in Telangana region. That bird is very famous. So that bird, we brought it into focus in Begumpet railway station, where we have displayed, of course it's this plastic FRP, 3 feet height and 6 feet long, that bird. 6 of them we made and kept at different locations, greeting the visitors who are coming. So the flora and fauna, not only the flora, the fauna, how to bring fauna into the focus. So the railway chief head came and he was surprised and he was very happy, and he said, I want 7th one on the top of the rock there. There are huge rocks which also got conserved, and we brought them into focus as a center stage. So these are the ways how we look at, and we can always...
So this is a trend where nature and built spaces can coexist.
Yes,
that should be what we should be looking at.
That is the beauty of India. That is the beauty of our culture.
Yeah. So if I have to ask you one word for the future of architecture, what would that be?
I think Indian architecture is going through a lot of adaptiveness. Adaptiveness,
Okay.
Our architects, our engineers, our builders, our politicians, everyone, is appreciating the adaptivity that is being looked at in various large projects today. Ecological conservation, everything is, become very important, because if we don't take care of ecological aspects,
Right.
then you will end up into, earth, what do you call it?
Correct.
Earth,
Wellness. and
global
health.
warming is there, but see the three things that is happening in the world today. One is loss of biodiversity, which is a big problem today. Number two is climate change, which is happening. Number three is ecosystems are collapsing. So we have different type of ecosystems within the major ecosystems. There are 12 ecosystems in the whole world, and one of them where we are living is semi-arid, subtropical, dry deciduous forest ecosystem we are living in. This whole Deccan Plateau is a dry deciduous forest ecosystem where the plantations are unpalatable. Goats, such flora, animals we see on the rocks and all that thriving. So this is away from the temperate climate,
Correct.
where Singapore and all that is different, and desert, that is our Gulf countries.
India has its
I
own
worked in
unique-
Gulf countries also, by the way,
Yeah,
and where there is no soil. I was there in Bahrain for 3 years, and there is no soil there. There is only 3 types of sand: white sand, brown sand, black sand. And we created beautiful lawns, beautiful plantation, flowering. I'm sure all of you saw in Dubai petunias, how beautifully they flower in all the traffic islands. How they do is simply they have soil mix, standards, and they have very good irrigation, methods, and they treat the water, sewage water, and then bring back and feed to these beautiful gardens of the city. So similarly in Bahrain, we have done huge projects. We did a Corniche on the seaside, where today hundreds and thousands they do walking, jogging, skating, cycling, all that. So in India now, Bombay recently has opened promenade in Bombay, and what I see is all dry.
It's all
There's
concrete. They have
concreted.
concretized it.
No
Yeah.
plantation
Yeah.
schemes, nothing. This is how our contractors are.
So I think the key takeaways from this conversation today is that we need to design for the context. If we are in India, what state we are, what weather it is, what kind of climate is. That is how, and it's the, as he said, nature and built spaces together is what we need to consider. when
Biophilic
are
we
about
call now.
Biophilia, yes. So thank you so much, architect
you.
and Professor Narasimham, and talking to us, giving those very good examples of how things can be done, which you have already done. So thank you so much. I think we couldn't have closed this conclave on a better note than talking about how the right way of urban development should be. Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us over here. Can we please clap it up loudly for sir over here? I request you to please remain on stage. I request Sapna to kindly give the token of appreciation to Architect Professor Narasimham V.V.L, sir. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the moment. Can you all please clap and appreciate his incredible presence over here for making the urban history of Hyderabad so very special. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. We truly value your presence. Thank you, Sapna. A big round of applause for Sapna as well, please.